feel like their playstyle lends itself better to the patch, if that makes sense.
He's usually this hero that is incredibly hard to shut down. He just has 2 spell farm abilities, and he normally just kills the creeps really fast, and then that's it. Like, the creeps are dead, so now the mids aren't fighting anymore. So it becomes less interesting for me to watch. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Maybe some upsets will happen on the mid lane as well. We'll have to be wary.
I'm curious to see how early we're going to see rotations to the mid lane. Typically, we see them around the 6-minute mark just because of those action runes, but we have been seeing them just slightly earlier trying to get that advantage. They do ping out that they drop a ward over here on the side.
They didn't smoke. This is like the first team out of all the games we watched. We watched 6 games yesterday, Moxie. This is the first time I see a team not smoke out on level 1, and they immediately get punished for it. They drop a ward under enemy vision that they could have dropped in a smoke, and then that would not be information the enemy got already.
I'm not sure. With the way that they were positioned, would it still have broken though?
No, they weren't close enough. When they dropped their wards, I mean, their smoke would probably break, but they wouldn't be aware that there was a ward planted.
Right.
They literally just saw them put down the ward. So they're playing for the bottom rune still, but this reaction by Talon is pretty good. They're understanding their level 1 isn't the strongest. The level 1 of Keystars here with their heroes is way more powerful. So just give up the bottom runes, play for the top ones.
I think this is the most action that we've seen for runes, though, considering, right? Because I feel like all of our games yesterday was mostly just everyone sitting in the mid lane like, oh, do they have a ward? Do they have a ward? Let's make sure they don't put a ward.
Yeah, it's, they tried with a little invasion there, but Keystars, it was surprising to me that with those level 1 heroes, not to try and go for at least a smoke move, and there was either the D ward happen by Oli.
Oh, this is interesting. Okay, so they're putting King Jungles down here with FCR. So that's not what I was expecting. I thought that the Tusk would be here, but it makes sense, right? Because you've got one hero that's ranged paired up with one hero that's melee.
Yep. It's a nice way to pair. It's definitely more normal to see the Tusk on the off lane, but lanes make more sense this way for them with their heroes.
Some little high five action in that mid lane as the tower is creep wave's very pushed up against the tower, and Hawk desperately trying to get the high five. Makoto is not here to play though, not in that manner.
He's being very cautious as well, trying to get some denies under tower, but not taking the tower aggro. Doing a good job being in there and stressing the Pango a bit. So he only got 2 last hits on the first creep wave.
I like this. I like that. I didn't consider this at the time, but King Jungles being in this lane means that he can stroke a fate on these Naga illusions and help clear them up a lot faster.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a nice tool, and they also have a great Inkswell carrier in Bristleback. A downside to having safe lane Grimstroke would be that Merita doesn't really carry the Inkswell very well, so the lanes are just way nicer for them like this.
A little bit of aggression coming out here in the top lane as he'll drop the calling.
Yeah, not quite gonna commit there. They had level 2 on Tusk, but didn't really see a chance to turn it.
The water runes are up and running. Bottle is on analog, so he can go retrieve one of those if needed. Nothing just yet here for Pango. Oh, looks like the courier's got his on the way.
Yeah, he's getting it. He struggled a bit with last hits there on the first 2 creep waves, but he still gets Bottle in time to go and pick up Water Rune, and he's going to get his mana back. Top lane, Blood Grenade committed here.
Yeah, they really would like to get Q, but they need a little bit more damage. And now with jabz jumping for it is silenced, so not going to be able to use that Starbreaker, but it's enough to push them off of their Tiny.
Didn't really get the kill, but at the same time, they are the ones controlling the lane a lot. They're putting the hurt on the enemy, and that's what we're seeing on all lanes pretty much. Keystars are just slightly more aggressive and leading the way a bit in CS, especially mid lane. This Earth Spirit is kind of bullying the Pango a bit.
I mean, I feel like they have to play this way. I feel like they have to keep up this aggression and tempo, or else they just kind of start sitting dead in the water. Like, look at these heroes. You've got the Earth Spirit, you've got the Bristleback, you've got a Tusk. That's paired up with a Muerta. Like, this is definitely, the way they want to play this for sure. jabz silenced up here. It's already gone and used the Celestial Hammer. Gertie trying to put out a little bit more damage. Is going to get a little close, but has himself the salve, expecting that harassment to be very strong.
Also good read by jabz to just turn around there and go for the smackdown onto King RD, realizing that even though he was kind of 1v2 as Tiny was zoned out, he could just turn and trust that Tiny is coming in soon. Mid lane, we see a little bit of a comeback here by Pango as he was starting out really rough. He's not caught up fully, and CS has the levels on his nukes, of course, so creep wave very quick to be burst down here as the 4-minute runes are spawning.
You see a little bit of this rotation here. King Jungle's gonna be taking care of his jungle, but there's the payoff because he's walked away.
Early end snare, yeah. Level 3 end snare on Naga Siren. Not a lot of people, you know, expect Nagas to actually do this. So many Naga players just ignore skilling end snare, but going for it, definitely worth it here for 23.
Very important too to like start slowing down this bristleback. Although there is a courier. Oh, look at this! It immediately turns around. Sees King Jungle's on his way. Top lane. A little bit of pressure being placed here on King RD. He's got the shards, but not going to be able to survive this. But now Costa is forced to run to the safety of his tower.
Yeah, good kills for both off lane and safe lane here for Talon. So they weren't really the ones leading in aggression, but now they are finding these kills, finding the openings as supports kind of get out of position a bit.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
The bristleback is only 250 gold away from his Vanguard. At that point, the kill window kind of closes on bottom lane, and they won't be able to kill him again. So getting that one kill before he got Vanguard was really crucial.
Yeah, I feel like that timing is excellent as well because we're reaching the point where we're going to see King Jungles probably make some more rotations. Top lane, pressure getting placed down again, but it's not going to yield any kills.
That's a nice toss back, but he has the snowball, of course.
Analog's here. Analog's only 5. He's looking to make this rotation. Yeah, he's going to run right into Q, gives him a kickback over to King RD, but King RD didn't really seem completely ready for that. Snowball coming into play behind the course. Costa, though, in danger. Oh my god, Costa ends up dying. So does King RD because Makoto makes a very good rotation. And it's just going to be an absolute disaster for Vivo Keystars.
Oh, that was not very coordinated there. That dive, they didn't really know who they wanted to go on. I think the roll was not intended to land over onto Tiny. They wanted to get the Dawnbreaker, but as they randomly caught the Tiny instead, who was not in their vision, it messed up their initiation.
Ooh, Ollie just a little bit faster than that denial on the rune, so Pugna's already a very speedy Skelly boy. He's even faster, and I think he saw that being stacked too here on the side.
I should have the information there. Also, that punishment for Pango coming up top, just easily being part of what turned out to be 3 kills. He's now very happily working towards, you know, his next item here. We'll see if he goes for mana boots to deal with issues.
He's going after Makoto, and they have the Ink Swell. Not a lot of mana left over here, too, so this is pretty desperate. They need this, but Makoto, it's like he might be able to survive this because in comes a TP from Q, which is going to slow them down. He's ticking down. No, there it is. The final ticks.
Yeah, I thought Analog may have made a mistake there kicking him because it's like, oh, you got to safety now, but no, the damage was still enough from the ulti. It, you know, slowly brought him down. He didn't get an urn charge for that though, as he wasn't close enough when the Pango died.
Oh, what? Who expects the safe lane core to go and grab the Wisdom Rune?
Yeah, I mean, this is a Naga classic. If she doesn't use her ulti for it, she's gonna send illusions over there to deny the Wisdom Rune immediately if you're not there in time. So Naga, always a safe lane carry who is very interested in those Wisdom Runes.
Some movement here towards the mid lane. We've got Q and Ollie making their way over. So I would like to see a rotation coming out from Keystars as Analog does have King Jungles nearby. Might like to see this Tusk too. So they don't want to let this tower go down so soon.
Yeah, gotta be pretty careful about not stepping too close here, as they're of course sitting around on Talon and they have the Pango ulti ready.
Yeah, they have 3.
Does go down though, so towers can stay pretty safe.
We've got 3 points in the Nether Blast though. It's doing a lot of damage.
Dire's bottom tower.
That was buffed a lot recently.
Uh-oh, Analog. She'll crash a little bit off the mark here from King Jungles. He's gonna go use the stun on Makoto. Buy them a little bit more time. As you can see, there are rotations coming in. King Jungles, he's trying to figure out where do I go? What do I do? Can I get a denial on myself? No. Neutral keeps Thousand. Followed up now with the Dawnbreaker, smashing it over onto FCR and Analog. They just ripped them apart. It's a double kill.
Oh boy,
and they get
now going for the stacks as well.
Oh, that hurts.
I mean, Bristleback dying there and now losing the stacks as well. Bristle in particular is getting hurt by this, and they're kind of bullying the Tusk as well here with the Naga.
He's got no one to save him right now. What can he do? Right underneath the tower with all those people there. There's 4 heroes in the spot lane.
I like the Naga and Pango in tandem as well. That's a nice nice duo of heroes. Not that he has Lucky Shot yet, but once they get it, Lucky Shot and the Riptide, that's a lot of minus armor.
Some arcane rune top. Looks like jabz should be able to snap it up, or at least protect it for his Pango. This is looking real awkward. The toss back, not quite onto that low ground. PPs are coming out, but they're too late. The aggression from Talon, man, they know they're at the bottom of their group, but they're like, guys, we cannot lose a game. We cannot lose a single game today.
This is looking more like what I expected from Talon, though. Like, Talon, you know, we think of them as a team that is supposed to be, you know, very strong in representing their region here. And being at 4 losses, of course, it looks like they took it as a wake-up call. And Keystars, we'll see how they can swing back here, because 9-1 already. And I think Keystars were the ones to be leading early on here with their draft.
No, absolutely. I 100% agree that they should be the ones who are making the aggressive plays, but Talon, again, they're just showing up. They don't want to go home, and I got a lot of respect for that. They, I think when I was doing my research, Talon has the highest MMR of any team here at TI as well.
Oh, is that true? Actually the highest?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, a lot of these teams, they all have the individual skill, but now they're playing like a team, right? Talon are finding each other really well on the map and making these moves work. So now they already open up mid tower, top tower, stole enemy stacks. They're doing so many productive moves right now. And all this time, Naga is just enjoying her free farm.
I mean, yeah, I was concerned about the tempo that they were going to be taking with the heroes that they picked, especially considering what Vivo Keystars has, but I don't think Keystars was ready for the assault that I'm seeing in this game. Like, look at this Tiny. This Tiny's so close to getting that Blink Dagger because he's been so active. He's been part of 8 kills already. It's only been 10 minutes.
Yeah, they're giving him a little bit of time as well to sit and farm towards it, so just enjoying the mid lane for a bit. And meanwhile, they're playing more around the Pango with the Pugna. For now, he's finishing up his Diffusal, only 200 gold away from that. Once the Diffu is up on Pango, that's non-stop action. They're actually going to smoke immediately, even before he has it. Bristol is the target. So need the Dawn ulti, otherwise it doesn't die.
Typically, it's one of those things where, like, you don't go after a Bristleback early on in the game, but he has not had the... Oh, a little bit off the mark. In comes the Dawnbreaker. They get the Sun, the Rolling Thunder. Big Starbreaker. Not quite on the mark, but it doesn't matter. Ollie, he's in a good position, and they'll get a kill. So there's just, again, 4 heroes in this bottom lane.
Yeah, we can see how FCR, he was just way too far out there because they messed up that initiation entirely. They used the Crepify at the same time as Swashbuckle. The Swashbuckle missed anyway, so it was definitely not looking great for Talon, but they had all the resources to bring him down with the Dawn ulti as well. And no real reaction by Keystars right now, just clearing some stacks, farming up a bit. This is not what Earth Spirit wants to be doing, though. He wants to take fights. Sees a Naga. Does he know it's real? He did just run in and buy an ultimate orb under his nose.
I think he just was a little like, oh, wait, what a minute.
Didn't have time to react to what he saw there.
No. All right, I want to see... He's in position, I guess. I want to see this Tusk get active. I want to see Tusk, I want to see Grimstroke, and I want to see either this Earth Spirit or the Bristleback start doing things.
Yeah, I mean, for now they've been playing such a slow style here. King Jungle, I guess his name is appropriate here. He had 11 stacks made already in 12 minutes, and that's fine and all, but half of those stacks were stolen, and all that time stacking is time that you're not making your own moves.
Now we have the Blink Dagger on Tiny, so Q is going to become an even bigger threat. Let's see, does anybody have a smoke on them? No smoke on King RD. They do have a smoke on Grimstroke, so perhaps they'll make something happen here once they're done clearing these stacks.
That is a very, very early Blink Dagger for a support Tiny, and he has the Tumbler's Toy as well, so he can pair it up with a double jump. Really nasty to catch people who go just a little bit out of position.
Yeah, he's got a lot of reach. There's the reveal. Hello, King RD. Good shards, but is it gonna be enough? It was close, but nope.
Yeah, he's gonna go down, and the full Manta style completed as well for Naga coming out here, and gets a little bit of a top off by the Pugna, gets the mana back. This build as well by Naga going straight into the Manta style. So happy to see it. A lot of Nagas go for, you know, random stuff these days, and I think it's not very worth it.
You're a traditionalist is what I'm hearing, Naga.
Yes, in this regard.
Well, there's a kill on Analog, and this is looking like it's going to be a kill on FCR, although nope, they'll turn back around. They've got the Inkswell. Stay into position. Oh, it cannot get the song off in time as they'll turn back around. They've got their eyes on Ollie. They're sitting a little bit low as the rest of the team is making their way over. Look at Talon. Look at this response. They're not happy that they got that kill. They're looking for King Jungles.
Okay, so they get a really massive kill, but they get punished for it, and the bottom tower is now removed as well. So all the tier 1 towers already gone. They didn't take a single tier 1 tower of their own. So even when they get something here, it's still going Talon's way at the end of the day. He starts now 8,000 gold behind.
Let's see, what does Costa have going on here? He's got himself the Falcon Blade, he's got the Maelstrom.
What need have I?
But I would like, I'm not seeing that deadly like hunter coming out from him. I'm seeing it actually, honestly, I can't say I'm seeing it from the Naga in the sense that she's out pursuing, but they just keep coming to her lane and she's like, okay, yeah, I'll fight. I'll have my team there in a sec. Don't worry.
I think Costa Bill is doing pretty much what you expect him to do in the draft here. Like, he so far needs to hit creeps, but his team just hasn't been able to come online. The Bristleback getting shut down in lane, getting his stack stolen. Now they're trying to make a move top and find Naga using the smoke.
Start opening over onto Costa. Q nearby. Roll a little bit off the mark. It's a little bit sloppy. There it is. There's that song. It's just a little bit too late for the Phantom. Now King Jungles will end up getting jumped on. Costa, he's had to use his ultimate. He's got the Pierce the Veil, but he's sitting so very low. In fact, it's going to be the Pugna Ward that finished him off. Ollie doing work this game as now Analog running away. Q and Makoto, that blank, the follow-up, avalanche, swashbuckle, toss back, taking a little bit of a bath here in the hot tub. But he's still alive and kicking. How long can they get him there for, though, as jabz finds the opening on the Tusk. Analog's still alive, still playing GTA over here. So he's going to try to teleport out, and I think he's going to make it.
Yeah, they finally get out with him, but they lose the Tusk as well, and just another massive lost engagement that was supposed to be them going for a kill on the enemy carry, using the smoke as well, but they didn't find the correct initiation. They didn't have a ward with them to put down to try and get vision on the Naga, as she was in fog war, and the roll just didn't connect. So I don't know, the reactions are really good by Talon. They come in, swing in behind, kill off the Merta as well very quickly, so she doesn't get to do anything in that fight. This is just all coming up Talon right now.
Yeah, it looks great, and I know if you're a C fan, you are so excited to see signs of life because they were just sitting at the bottom of the group. They need to get these victories, and if you're a Keystars fan here, you're kind of asking yourself, like, they need to wake up. They need to start doing things.
Yeah, Keystars, they are waiting for timing. They have the Aghanims now, so this is the timing they need to punch it right now. This Bristleback, they need to get the most out of this this Aghanim Scepter. Go for kills, go for some pickups here towards the bottom lane.
It's so hard too, right? Because you think you have the numbers advantage, but you have to remember that Dawnbreaker can be there in a matter of seconds. King RD reveals himself and just is immediately obliterated. So you're at a very disadvantageous fight now.
Yeah, such a quick pick off. I mean, he showed himself on the lane. I don't think Tusk can try to be a bait like that. Not against the heroes they have.
I think he sent in the Bristle, right?
Yeah, Bristle ideally would be the one to go first. They kind of need like Grimstroke Shard to protect them. It's coming out now. So they actually do have the Shard. Now they can give the heal and, you know, a bit of extra damage as well to turn it around.
So just jumping the gun a little bit by having the Tusk show up that early?
Yeah, I think he needed to sit back and just be patient, but it's so hard because every second that goes by, both the Dawnbreaker and the Naga are free farming somewhere else on the map, and they are pulling ahead hard in net worth right now.
Yeah, Naga's looking great currently. Another 20-something seconds, though, on cooldown for her song. So if Keystars get some vision up, because I feel like they're lacking pretty strongly.
They're jumping in there.
They're going to go for the jump on FCR, and this is looking a little bit better for them now. So onwards punch over onto Q, but jabz is here. The Dawnbreaker ulti keeping them alive long enough as now Analog is forced to run. They got the magnetize. They'll go snap up the regen rune. You can see KRD, he wants to go in, but this Pugna Ward's causing a lot of issues for them.
Between the Pugna Ward and the Naga Illusions, it's hard for them to keep going in there. They did get a minor victory in that fight. The Pango ulti was used, the Dawnbreaker ulti was used, and they did get a kill themselves. So finally something going their way, but they need more of this. They can't just sit back now, play off these cooldowns. They need to make something happen while the Dawnbreaker is not ready to react. Looks like bottom is going to be the targets. Opening up the map at all, getting any of these tier 1 towers would be lovely, but the bottom tower is completely untouched still.
I don't like how they immediately split up after some of these fights. I feel like you said they need to continue this pressure. They're wandering a little bit too much, almost like meandering. Whereas we've seen Spirit the other day, like it was just objective after objective after objective. This didn't work. Okay, next one. Like
it feels like they're splitting up too much. They could probably have made a move immediately for bottom. The thing is, they're probably respecting Naga as well for having so much farm already. But you just have to go, right? That's what Spirit were doing in their games. Even when it looked grim, they just made these moves anyway. And if you don't make them right now, you're gonna get pulled into a late game where the Naga is just completely outscaling you. And even the Dawnbreaker is keeping up with Naga and net worth. Like, jabz got insane farm on his Dawn.
He's opted to go for the Mage Slayer, and he's got the Blade Mail. A little bit different of a build. Typically.
I love it. I love the Mage Slayer against Bristle. It's really ingenious here against Bristle and Earth Spirit. I think it's a perfect build. It's like he removes so much of the magic damage, taking away 35% spell damage from either Earth Spirit or Bristle is massive, since it does work on Quill Spray and the physical damage nukes.
Coasted. They immediately find SCR, putting the pressure over onto 23. Dawnbreaker, the ulti coming in hot. They get the soul bind though, so they are holding the Pango in place. Can they finish off 23? They'll finally get it. But now the roll around here, that's not looking good for FCR. He's gonna have to run out as the Pugna continues to just put the damage down. Roll forward though, coming out from Analog. They're in a good position with Costa being here. Analog's hitting very, very low. Somehow he's still alive. They'll end up losing King RD and King Jones, but jabz will fall as somehow FCR survives this the entire time. Although he sees Ollie, there's the invis.
Gotta be careful, Tanya's blink soon. And running away very wisely, just legging it out of that. But that was a perfect fight for Vivo there. They took it in a really good way. The bind completely won that fight. Grimstroke gets a clutch bind, not only catching the enemy carry, but also binding him to the mid, who is in ulti on the Rolling Thunder. If it wasn't for that bind, I think they can't win the fight, but because of it, they get the Naga kill, Pango didn't do anything, and during that time, they managed to just set the fight up to be really good for them.
They're showing signs of life. In fact, we go back, look at this replay, that silence, like perfectly timed on Naga, so she's not going to be able to get that Song of the Siren. And then again, the latch, holding on to both of them, making it so Makoto can't create all that chaos, and it becomes a split fight.
Yeah, that was really well taken by Keystars. Back into the game live now, we see Talon going for the Tormentor. 21 minutes, gonna get themselves the shard over on Pugna. Nice little shard to have, extra cast range on the Nether Ward, and you also get to life drain straight onto the ward.
I still would say, though, Vivo Keystars, they are not out of the woods yet. One good fight definitely helps, but I still think that this Naga is absolutely terrifying, as well as the Dawnbreaker with what jabz has.
Nice, FCR completely solos the Tormentor as well at the same time here, so they get themselves their own shard over on Tusk.
A little bit more control, never a bad thing, for sure.
Yeah,
Costa almost having that BKB is going to be a big deal.
Yeah, really. Like, Murta is one of those heroes who desperately needs it because she wants to be as effective as possible during her ulti. During her ulti, she doesn't want to be randomly tossed away by Tiny or decrepified. You know, I guess decrepified doesn't matter, but like slowed by Lucky Shot or some procs. Anything can really mess with her. but yeah, she can just guarantee that she can be active now. No end snares coming in and silences.
This is big too, though. Speaking of mobility, we will have the Blink Dagger being picked up right now for Makoto. So he's going to be able to sit a little bit further back if he wants. Doesn't want to be too far back, right? Because he is one of the primary initiators for his team, but they can kind of be a little bit more patient and making sure that King Jungles doesn't get that perfect soulbind like he did in the last fight.
Exactly. It gives him a chance to more quickly jump into the correct spot without randomly being bound. So always a good item on Pango, getting them Blink Dagger. He's going for a Lincoln's next as well, so you can say that he's definitely prioritizing not getting a repeat of what happened there. Again, though, even after the fight that we had that went the way of Keystars, feels like now it's falling back into this lull of just farming up that I have to say favors Talon. Talon are finishing up now. They get the BKB coming out for Dawnbreaker pretty soon. She's looking very, very big as well.
I mean, looking at like item timings, right? So I personally would rather like to see them, making these plays coming out from the side of Keystars, but we do get the BKB picked up now for Analog. They're working towards the Blink Dagger for the Tusk. We've got the, we got the Lotus Orb. They opted to go for that. Okay. So like they've got some big item timings. Now I'd really like to see them that with these BKBs on both these heroes start to make these plays. Although BKB again picked up for jabs too, so should see some brawling very soon.
Yeah, definitely. We should expect them to be fighting. And Talon, though, they're expecting, this game to go pretty late. They are playing for the long run here. Even Tiny went back for a Midas after his Blink Dagger, and going for a Shadow Blade next is not only for repositioning, but it's gonna give him some of that right-click damage as well. Get some attack speed, get some damage, and he's gonna scale to slowly become a core.
Okay. I like this. They've gone for a smoke play. Smoke play from the side of Talon too, though. So it's going to be some ships passing in the night if they're not careful. FCR is going to be the one who gets revealed.
Running to each other.
Running in.
Q. Ready with a blink for a toss back now, but doesn't really know the positioning, so going to play it careful. And we see them moving over towards the Roche pit here, so they do have great heroes to take Roche over on Keystars, but
do they know
they're going to send in the illusions as well to scout this.
This is very risky, especially because it is a Naga, right? They have BKBs, but they have to be on top of this. In fact, they'll see the illusions.
They gotta get out of this position. This is not the spot to be for Keystars.
No, they drop a ward too, so they have very good vision. And they're gonna find the opening immediately over here, and he's just gone. BKB gets shown down from Analog as he's gonna try to roll himself a little bit further out of position. And it just feels like they don't want to actually fight. Especially not with King RD. Well, King RD, he buys back, but it's gonna take him a bit to get over here. SCR shows himself. He's got the Lotus on him too, but he's taking a lot of punishment because where's the rest of his team? They're not in position. They're not ready for this. They'll end up losing the Bristle. They see Costa over here. The Dawnbreaker ulti coming in hot. Will finish him off as King Jungles will end up falling. And just a disaster for the side of Keystars here. Absolutely disaster.
They put themselves in such a bad spot to just go. They run into the smoke, know that they're there. Maybe they didn't realize that it was the entire team of Talon up there when they broke the smokes on each other. But it was very, very risky to go straight into Roche pit, because if Naga is around, she's just gonna send illusions and that's it. And now she catches the Earth Spirit here without BKB available. There's no way that he's gonna get out.
No way he gets out of this, especially not without any mana.
Yeah, so nice you can end snare now before the song ends, so you can always guarantee that the person is rooted before they start rolling away or something.
I absolutely agree though. The second that they saw those Naga illusions, honestly, don't feel like they should have gone in after that smoke broke, but the Naga illusions, they should have just left. I'm not sure why FCR stood there for so long. Like, he stayed in the lane, and like everybody else was so far away.
It was a desperation move. The Roche in general was desperation because they know they can feel like this game is slipping out of hands. Yeah. We know, of course, as spectators, this is a 19,000 gold lead at 27 minutes. It's looking extremely grim, and the players, they can feel it too. So they knew they needed something big to try and swing the favor of the game. But now they just gotta play towards timings again. I think the next big timing for them is the Mjolnir on Merta. Try and play towards that. She needs only 100 more golds, and that massively increases her DPS. Getting the extra lightnings.
I love the way they're using these illusions too to scout, give information.
Yeah, just sending them in. I mean, the illusions have heart now as well, so they're pretty hard to bring down.
Under attack.
This is a very tanky Naga. He's got himself the Eagle Song, the Orchid.
Yeah, this is also entering the phase of the game where Naga can just keep cutting the creep waves here. So she's sending them in. Bristleback trying to deal with the illusions bottom, but he can't even kill them. So they still kill the entire creep wave.
I feel like they missed their timing completely on the side of Keystars now. I feel like this Talon is just like, they're so big, but they're just gonna continue to outpace them at this point.
They're suffering a lot because of the first few rotations or lack of rotations where they were primarily focusing on stacking up as well. But the dive top under a tier 1 tower where 3 of them died and they killed nobody, that really set them back and gave Talon a really strong early advantage. And Talon are just not letting go. They're holding on to this advantage really hard.
Yeah, that's exactly what they need to do.
Meanwhile, we see a smoke all the way over from the Ancient's bottom, but
it's a long walk to get up to this tower.
This tier 2 tower is gonna fall already. There's no way they're getting there in time. They're just trying to find anyone alone.
Maybe they could get like a wrap play, like if they move their way towards this high ground, but it's still just so dangerous for them.
It feels impossible when you're in their shoes right now, because look, bottom creep wave got caught, mid creep wave got caught, and the top is pushing. So they have no map presence at all. The map is completely dark, and like Talon know that they have to deal with these creeps.
They have a blink now for the Grimstroke. So again, a little bit more time to position, find that opportune moment to land the Soulbind, but it's still very tricky, especially like when you're going up against something like the Naga, like we said, or you know, the Pugna Ward. Like, there's so many things that can cancel out a blink.
They need like a full Aghanim and Grimstroke or something. This Naga now with Butterfly as well, she's just, you know, going in and doing so much building damage without committing anything really, not endangering herself. And all of Keystars are there trying to defend, but still the tower's going down. The Pugna is poking, and tier 3 tower is just about to fall.
Yeah, I mean, they have King RD, he did join up, but he still does not have that blink dagger that he's been working on for the last like 2-3 minutes.
Okay, they have vision on Dawnbreaker, but there's no way they can get over there even. They want to gank Dawnbreaker, because if you jump her, then her team can't help her, but it's still tough for them to move out of their base.
I mean, the second that they move out of the base, they know something's up, right?
Yeah, it's too many creep waves jumping in, so it becomes very obvious. And this is a rough spot right here for Keystars, as they're basically trapped in their own home, and Talon, they're looking to do something more with the Aegis. 40 seconds on Pango's Aegis. They are thinking about breaking high ground on top lane right now. Looks like they're not gonna do it though. They're just playing towards next Roche.
I mean, they're seated so pretty. There's barely any breathing room right now for Vivo Keystars, so there's honestly no rush.
Yeah, at this point, Talon can just enjoy the entire map control that they have. The entire map is just free farm, and Keystars, for them to make any move here, they need to shove out the lanes a little bit, but Naga is just not relenting, sending more and more. Got the map style, got the mirror image.
It's okay, I give them a head start.
And they don't have a great hero against the Naga Siren for killing off those solutions quickly.
No, but that is the
at least the Murta kills them like at a decent pace, but would it be so nice for them to have a support hero like a Lion or something that can actually insta kill them.
That would be nice.
Radiant are scanning.
I don't know, I just feel like we're in the desperation zone right now, but it just feels like a lot of farming occurred in this game when it needed to be aggression, I guess.
Yeah, you could say that. I think they just messed up their first few rotations as well on Keystars, and good reactions by Talon. But now Talon just they're playing a really solid game. You can tell that they are not accepting one more loss here, as they're already in a very critical spot in the group stage. So they want to close this game out in a nice way. We have 2 minutes until Roche could spawn.
Yeah, they're sitting pretty right now with the 86% chance win rate. Like, that's nothing to sneeze at, and definitely feels like, Keystars, their backs are against the wall. They're gonna go for a smoke play, hoping that maybe they can clear out their jungle, perhaps. You can see that we've got wards over on King RD. So they're doing a little bit of hunting. The other person they might find is the Tiny, but they're not going up to the high ground just yet.
Pretty smoke. They might get the Tiny at least.
Alright, there's the play. Showing up as a play. They have the dust. So they should be able to get themselves a kill on the Tiny, which is very much needed, but they're gonna need a lot more than that.
Yeah, just the kill on the support dog gives them 1,300 gold. That is so much money for a single kill right there. So it's gonna go a little bit away for helping them. Good reaction by Talon, not using Dota gold. Just saying, you know what, it's a support. Let them have it. They'll come in for this one. They're just playing back and go for their own Tormentor. Keystars, they're not after getting a kill. They strike straight towards the mid and get it out.
That would be the big one.
No.
King RD makes it over, opens up with a water punch. Ultimate plays. This is not a position that I'm gonna like. He's gonna try to teleport away. Should be able to do it, but for half a second there, it was a little bit spooky.
Very nice for him to have the Lincolns as well there. Tough for him to lock him down. Can't just try and catch him. But he gets out to safety in a good way. And now Keemstar's trying to use the bottom part of the map. Roche could spawn in 20 seconds.
I mean, Muerta's doing good damage now. Like, they just ripped down that tower, so...
Yeah, there's, you know, a small window where they could maybe stick around bottom and try for that Roche, but it's so risky before it moves to the top part of the map. Just 40 seconds. The earliest Roche spawn would be right now.
I feel like Naga also just putting pressure on the top lane. Like, they have to go back and deal with it. And if they're not together, they really can't take a fight.
Yeah, pretty much. Tusk now gonna get caught out trying to do some warding. Gonna get pinged out that, you know, he gets jumped, so at least he knows where a ward is from Talon.
There we go. Look on the bright side of things. Now he at least knows there's a ward.
He knows there's a ward, but he's down for 1 minute, so
yeah.
Pretty long time, and the Wisdom Rune is gonna be stolen here for sure. 5 seconds time.
Dire's top barracks are under attack.
Bottom creep wave is extremely far, so this tier 2 tower is going to be pretty safe for now.
Again, I feel like Talon just doesn't really care. They're like, okay, we'll just wait. Split our Naga, get bigger and bigger. Complete a butterfly, you got the full silver edge. 23 stabs, he's stacked.
Yeah, he's absolutely massive, and he's going for that Bloodthorn next as well, so they'll have 2 Mage Slayers built in then against this Bristle and the Earth Spirit, like I mentioned. And even just attacking, you know, if Muerta is not in ulti and you hit her, the Mage Slayer effect is pretty damn good against her. Lowers the Mjolnir damage a lot as well. So it's gonna be a tough spot for them here. Muerta's going for that MKB to deal with the Naga. Gonna have really good Truth Strike with Mjolnir and MKB.
Dire's
completed just now.
is under attack.
We'll check out the Roche pit.
Problem is that the Muerta basically needs a refresher here. She needs 2 ultis, she needs 2 BKBs to be able to actually take an extended fight. It's so easy for Talon to just, you know, delay her or kite her a little bit during her ulti, especially if they use Naga.
Would you have liked to see this Bristleback pick up a BKB earlier?
I think his build makes sense. I think the Lotus Orb is extremely good when you're playing against the Orchids and the Decrepify, the Ensnare. There's a lot of things they need the Lotus against. I think his build is fine, but I wish they would have enabled the Bristleback before he got his Aghanims. Like, play around him in the early game, because they didn't really try and play around him as a power spike. And I think with the Muerta just farming and then Bristle also just farming towards the Aghanims, they gave so much time for Talon.
Yeah, I feel like the Bristle needed to be making these moves, setting that tempo, and like Costa was the one that, you know, took the time, hit the creeps. And the Earth Spirit too. I would have liked to see more from the Earth Spirit earlier on, with especially with the supports that they have. Like, these are very aggressive.
Yeah, after the first rotation didn't work out top, they just couldn't really find any move that would work either. Now the Roche is up, they're gonna take it very, very fast here. I like the positioning of Oli. It just goes to the top left corner of the map, sitting in a very safe location so he doesn't get jumped.
He knows what his job is. His job is to go plant the Nether Ward and then keep everybody else alive.
Pretty much, yeah. 4-staff, Glimmer Cape, maybe some decrypts and some ultis here and there. He's basically your little medic running around on the field.
I mean, he's a medic who hasn't died once. He's 5-0 and 10.
Yeah, he's playing so clean this game. Only player who hasn't died, actually. Even jabz died that one time.
I think I was reading Yatro in an interview said that they have the best supports, in his opinion, on Talon.
Yeah, they're, I mean...
Especially Ollie. I think Ollie was like the big one that he mentioned.
Yeah, some big praise, especially coming from Yatro, because Yatro, of course, you know, Team Spirit themselves, they know a thing or two about the support play, so, you know, it's like real recognizes real kind of thing.
Game recognizes game, yep, yeah. Absolutely.
If you're a carry player, it's always nice to have support to position well and tank the ganks for you, or you know, just has one step ahead of the enemy in the board game. Makes it so easy.
All right, well, they've got the Aegis over on Makoto. And the creep wave's got to slowly start to clear up here to this bottom area.
Checking in with Q on Tiny here to see how his transition to become a hard carry is going. He's got his...
Going pretty well, honestly.
Yeah, he's got his level 18 now as well. Got the BKB, of course. Going for a Silver Edge next.
Yeah, that early Blink Dagger really paid off for him and being able to help set up ganks and whatnot.
Even just getting the Tumbler's Toy is a big thing for Tiny. If you find Tumbler's Toy, you're so happy. You basically need Tumbler's Toy or Faded Brooch to enable some of your ganks.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
All the outer towers now have been removed for the side of Keystars, and it looks like they're getting ready to launch their assault.
This is going to be the slowest assault, I think. It's just going to be like Nether Blast spam. They're going to sit back, send illusions, and Nether Blast spam.
I mean, it's not fancy, but it's honest work.
Yeah, this is a very painful death by 1,000 cuts kind of feeling, and Keystars are unfortunately going to be the ones who have to make a move. They, you know, normally you have the defender's advantage, but against Pugna, that's not always true. You kind of have to strike out.
Does Keystars try to get like a smoke and try to wrap around? Because I feel like you can't just let them siege you like this.
Yeah, it's tough to say what they're supposed to do. They have a smoke ready on King Jungle, so he could try to look for something.
It's just all these right now,
Top Rex is falling, man. It's 300 HP. Naga is taking it.
I mean, that's the problem, right? Is that they want to smoke, they want to try to make this play, but the Naga just keeps sending all of these illusions that are so tanky.
Yeah, and she got the ninja gear for herself as well, so she can be pretty sneaky with how she does it, having both Silver Edge and the ninja gear. She's hard to spot. Oh, they got the S tier, tier 4 item for Murta, though. She got the Mindbreaker. That's an absurdly good item on Murta.
Costa looking like he wants to try to hunt this Naga. Knows that he's just been in this top position the entire time, but...
Yeah, he's also locked to this area, because if he leaves, then the illusions immediately take his base, and he's the only one who can kill the illusions fast enough. So he wants to make moves, but he's basically shackled to the lane a bit.
CR taking some steps outside of this base.
Going bristle.
Putting a little pressure down, but not hard committing just yet. They are smoked up behind.
Better of it. Naga was going in for a second there.
Go to the Dawn.
To Silver Edge.
We're thinking about jabs here. Oh, the blink though at the right second.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
It was a good try, but not going to yield anything.
Yeah, meanwhile, bottom circle dancing. He's towing the line.
Back from Q. He's tanky, but he's not tanky enough. My goodness, all right, Snowball. I have a little bit more time. And the team mentioned Makoto together, 123. Keystars either taking so much damage. As now they'll turn their attention over onto Analog, and everything's just blowing this fight ever. But they do get 23, as now jabz chases after FCR. Need to get a little bit more damage into place, but they'll have it.
And only the medic has fallen as well. The first death of the game for him. He loses his gem down there on the lane. He's pinging out like, you guys, my gem is here.
Multiple gems got dropped during that.
Yeah, his team is pretty confident here, though. Murta not having ulti and Bristleback being down along with the Tusk and Earthspirit is very free to walk up here.
I mean, they managed to get the perfect soulbind though. Again, over on the Pango and the Naga.
They got a good soulbind, but they're just so far behind in, you know, items overall. The Dawnbreaker came in, just smacked people around there. A very nice deep ulti, and he could just go in. With the Blade Mail on, Murta can barely even keep attacking once the BKB runs out. That's another reason why she needs almost a refresher to be able to attack into that.
See, this feels bad because their big heavy hitter and their medic are both down on the side of Talon. And Keatstar still is very much pinned in their base.
Yeah, they're maybe gonna get the Wisdom Rune at least here though, as Talon not making a move. I think Tiny could maybe sneak over and steal it.
They see King RD.
Not quite the money.
Goodbye, King RD. He just fought back too. That's a big oof.
That's a really painful one. He did get the D word, but yeah, now it's gonna be 5 people coming in, 70 seconds, no Tusk, and again, these illusions top just forcing Costa Bill to defend. He's getting a lot of gold. I wonder how much gold he got from illusions this game. I bet you it's a pretty high number.
That'd be a very interesting stat, yeah.
They're on the racks. Nobody defending bottom. They're being split across their base.
Oh, Analog, he was off the mark again. Luckily, not going to get immediately jumped and attacked, but they have their side over onto Costa. Oh, Starbreaker not going to be able to quite connect thanks to the fact they have the BKB, and they're just going to push them back. Both BKBs used on the side of Dawnbreaker and on the side here, but they're also going to see Q fighting here with Analog and FCR. He's going to try to get out. Looks like he'll make it in time, but these Naga illusions, this is just so painful. Chases on after jabz. It's going to try to teleport out. They've got the Lotus over onto FCR, but they're just hightailing it out over on the side of Talon.
My God, this is so brutal to watch.
This hurts.
Yeah, it's like watching a cat play with you know, something it's caught. It's like, come on, just finish them. But no, they're not giving them a single straightforward fight here because they know they can keep doing this, you know, poke and prod, and there's not much Vivo can do to defend it. They now only have range racks on bottom lane. They do have a melee racks on mid, so it's regenerating, but 1 racks against that lineup. 1 good sleep and you might just lose your racks while heroes are not nearby.
Yeah, this is definitely very, very scary for them. But if you're a Talon fan, things are feeling real good right now.
Yeah, they're going to keep scaling here. They even have Oli saying, you know what, I died once this game, unforgivable. I am gonna buy a Reaver.
Oh my God,
I'm working
he's getting a heart.
Yeah, he's gonna build up a little bit. The little boy is getting chunky here.
He's getting his gains, you know? He's been eating a lot of protein, doing some lifting.
Having a heart on Pugna feels amazing. You can just non-stop heal people, so... He also swaps in a smoke just now, so they're looking to put the final blow here. Gonna get everyone in on the smoke.
Oh no, FCR and Costa both getting caught. They do have Pierce the Veil, so if they can get that off in time, perhaps they can turn this. Look at the jump though, immediately from Makoto, finding Costa. Costa though, he's got the BKB. He's gonna try to make his way over. Q stuck in the middle of everyone. He's the calling. Q is not looking too great. Alright, they'll be able to get the Tiny. Tiny is down, but they've already lost FCR. They've lost themselves King Jungles. And now they're just fighting for survival. They fight back on the Grimstroke as they're chasing all the way into the base. Costa looks like he's going to survive, but Makoto now is going to have to teleport away. It's this little battery. No, he sticks around. He decides to stay. He's got to blink his way back, and they still have to deal with FCR. Ollie says, leave me alone. I don't want anything to do with you. As they'll chase after him. 23, he wants this. They've used the Silver as Lotus is not going to save them. 3 dead on the side of Vivo Keatstars.
Yes, buyback of Bristle, but you already lost Mega Creeps and you have 4 heroes hanging out outside your base here, and they're taking down all the buildings, going for the small little moon wells as well.
I mean, they still have Pierce the Veil over onto Coast if they want to try to do something, but it's just so difficult to get into these fights now. Towers are going down. Rolling Thunder from Makoto. Gonna chase after FCR. Costa giving off a couple of these little clicks here. They're trying to keep this throne alive, but it's really difficult as now. Oh, the jump forward from jabz! He just kills them. No weapon available. The chase is on FCR, and that's another death. It is going to be Talon that takes game number 1.
Talon in a very controlled manner here after a very strong start, being I think 9-1 in kills in an early game where I expected Vivo Keatstars heroes to be easier to play out the early game. Talon just outplayed them though. They had more moves themselves that were...
あらあら、さようなら。